Joining us now is OjyOkpe with stories trending around the world. Hello, Janet.
Dr. Abati with the legendary introduction. The General, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How was your weekend?
It was fantastic.
I saw you jollophing all over town.
Jollophing and pepper souping, right? I was my very dear friend Mo Abudu's 60th birthday. Happy birthday, Mo Abudu, really. How are you, Ayo?
Good
I
to
didn't see
you
you there. I thought you were coming out.
No. But it was good to see you represented. I did the Friday one. You did.
You did very well by pushing. Roofie on fire.
Oji, good
yes?
to see you.
How are you
Well,
this morning?
Doing all right.
Are you sure? Showakba?
Yeah.
All right,
Doing all right.
fantastic, fantastic. Welcome. Well, let's begin what's trending. Good morning to you, viewers. Well, after nearly 3 weeks abroad, President Bola Tinubu returned to Abuja on Sunday night following an official visit to China and a stopover in the United Kingdom, where he met with the King of England, King Charles III. The president was received at around 10:40 p.m. on Sunday at the presidential wing of the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport by top government officials. Tinubu, while in China, attended the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation and held talks with President Xi Jinping. And while in the United Kingdom, the president held discussions on climate change with the King of England. Well, over the weekend, a video emerged showing the president leaving St. Mary Hospital in London, eliciting a flurry of reactions. Well, all right. Well, first of all, welcome back, President Bola Tinubu. But I mean, that was a spy cam. I mean, I wonder who took that video. People were asking, how did that video leak? What was happening there? Was that person in the emergency room or was that at the hospital spotted the president and waited for him? But let me take some reactions. This is from Daily Justice. He wrote, "The world is confused by Nigeria's Aso Rock presidential clinic that goes unused. Meanwhile, the president opts for hospitals in London for his medicals. What's going on in Nigeria, really?" Then Harrison wrote, "So Tinubu spent 18 days on tour, one official and others unofficial. I am aware that the FOCAC started on the 4th and ended on the 6th of September 2024. This means that the summit was for 3 days alone. So the rest of the other 15 days were used to tour England and Dubai." A very pertinent question, Rufai, isn't it? But I mean, I like that first Twitter user's message, and where she talked about the presidential hospital, I mean, the Aso Rock clinic, which was touted to have, begun operations. But I know that there are a lot of comments that have been going on saying that it's still not running at full capacity at this moment.
You see, and it's a very good one.
Yeah.
Despite the billions we are pumping into the Aso Rock clinic, the British Prime Minister, when he had COVID and he almost died, he went to St. Thomas Hospital, NHS Hospital. No matter how sick the American president is, he's still going to end up in Walter Reed. Today we have a president that is in the lingo ward, the famous lingo ward of that hospital in the UK. What did he tell us he was going to do in the UK? Did he tell us he was going to lingo ward in the first place? No. The picture, in fact, they showed us was the picture where he took with the king.
Yeah.
So this one is a private hospital visit. As a president, are you not supposed to be transparent with your people to tell them? While all of this was going on, there was a flood. Probably now that he's back, he could also visit the flood victims. Or maybe if that's too stressful for him.
Did I not see a message from our State House correspondent that he was going to be there? I don't know. Is that correct?
He had better be there.
Yeah.
Because if we were a nation that put our leaders on that blast of accountability, President Tinubu was supposed to have come back to this country as that flood happened. And speaking of that flood, they said they spent over 400 million on the Alu Dam. We keep asking, how was the money spent? It is not climate change that caused what happened in Maiduguri.
We discussed it on Friday.
It is negligence, and some people that can't account for the Alu Dam.
We showed a picture from govspend.com. It was 171 million naira that was budgeted between when, Dr. Abati, June to September.
Yeah, and they said it was since 9 years ago they've been raising that lot. In fact, there was another anecdotal report, I think in one of the papers, that said 5 days to this thing happening, they called the government official and they said no cause for alarm before this finally happened. You will see, the Nigeria I know, maybe they will surprise me, nobody will be brought to book. So, I would also like to ask President Tinubu, was it on taxpayers' bill you went to that lingo ward? Obviously, yes, because we are the ones that are going to take care of your health care. Did you tell us you were going there? If we didn't catch you on this spy cam now, were you going to tell us you were going there? Since that we've seen this spy cam now, you've not come out to say maybe you were the one in it or you were not the one not in it. You see, that's the kind of government we run in this country. So, I yield the floor.
Well, all right. Ayo, a quick comment before I take this. Go ahead.
So he's been outed, I say the word. But I don't know if this was meant to be a secret trip to the hospital. But the fact that they didn't reveal that meant that they probably didn't want the public to know. Following what could have been termed to be a successful trip to China, there was a stopping gap somewhere. Don't forget that the president traveled in the middle of fuel scarcity in Nigeria, which was heavily criticized because people said that you have crisis in your home, in your country. This is not the time to be going out on foreign visits and all that. He still went ahead. Now, coming back beyond that, whilst he was away, we had the fuel scarcity, we had a fuel hike, and then we had a devastating flood in Borno State. Kudos to the vice president who's been acting in the stead of the president, going around visiting people. But there's such a time as where we need a strong show of leadership when we need the president here. And at some point we were like, where is the president? Where has the president gone to? So they said from China, he decided to make a quick stop in London in the middle of a crisis. I think for me that's the biggest thing here. It is that already we're saying that you going away was already contentious in that regard. You should be hurrying to come back home and then not make a stop. Now we can see for obvious reasons that he had to attend to, health reasons in London, aside from the other things he did. It's just that we need a strong show of leadership, especially in a time of crisis.
All right, for balance, Dr. Abati, quickly as well.
It's not
I meant balance for all of us to speak. That's what I mean on the table.
This is my own view of the coin. Because there's another side to the coin. The first is that, look, President Tinubu left Nigeria August 29 to attend the Forum on China and Africa Cooperation. And I think that from what we saw, from what we heard, Nigeria put up a good outing there. President Tinubu was able, with his delegation, to sign 5 memoranda of understanding in various areas of cooperation. He met with President Xi Jinping, he met with Premier Li Qiang, who promised greater cooperation with Nigeria. And at the bigger plenary, during the conference, President Tinubu also represented, Africa and spoke about the need for deepening the cooperation between Africa. I didn't agree with him when he was saying, this is the Belt and Road Initiative alliance with African Continental Free Trade Agreement. I said, well, how? However, it was a good showing for him. And the thing to do, now that he has returned, is that those various agreements that were signed in education, health, nutrition, infrastructure, that Nigeria should follow up, because Nigeria often drops the ball. We just go there to watch cinema, and I hope that African leaders who keep going to China will learn some lessons when they return to their countries. The second thing was that the president then went to the UK. Now, that was not part of the original statement that was issued when the president was traveling. Now, they can't keep doing this tradition of the president of Nigeria disappearing for days into the equivalent of a Bermuda Triangle. And then
like we always
it's only later when Nigerians complain and say, where is our president?
Yes,
that, they will start quickly do a cover story. Okay, the visit to the king, King Charles III, looked like an afterthought perhaps, because they didn't give us the details. As to going to the hospital, St. Mary's Hospital, where we are all human beings. I don't want to pick any bones with that. It could have been a routine medical checkup. If it was anything serious, they would have told us. But he's back, so he's back to work.
Right.
And we hope that he will follow up appropriately. And he has returned at a moment of glory on the same day when Dangote Refinery, after 28 years of refineries not working in Nigeria, this private initiative, provided us with fuel and will address energy security, domestic supply, but the arguments they are having over pricing, I think, is unnecessary distraction. They should focus on the big issues.
I like your point, Dr. Abati. The conversation amongst many Nigerians is the fact that, our president was in a facility that is not ours, and we know they talked about the fact that the clinic at the Aso Rock Villa should be running at full capacity, and he should be there instead of the United Kingdom. But Ayo, you made mention about the fact that, while he was there was, the discussion of the petrol hike. He did address that in the United Kingdom with, a delegation. He had a round conference at that time, and he talked about the fact that, he's going to promise that he will make sure that, we're going to get our country back up and running again. Well, let's now take reactions to the history-making moment on Sunday as the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited lifted its first consignment of petrol from the Dangote Refinery in Lagos, marking a significant milestone in Nigeria's journey towards industrialization and energy security. Well, the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, who led the delegation, the government delegation, to the refinery, described the event as a major win for local refining.
Today, we have taken an important step, a key step, towards energy self-sufficiency in Nigeria.
We congratulate all involved. Alhaji Aliko Dangote of Dangote Refinery and Petrochemical Company, NNPC, led by the group CEO, Mr. Mele Kyari, and even all on the side of the federal government of Nigeria, the Ministry of Finance, the chairman of FIRS. We congratulate everybody. It's a triumph, Alhaji Aliko Dangote. It's a triumph for Mr. President over and above anything else. But it's also a very good day for Nigerians, and we look forward with optimism. Thank you.
Well, all right. Congratulations to Nigerians. Despite the debacle and the constant flip-flop between the NNPC and the Dangote Refinery, I think this is a win for Nigeria. Dr. Abati, did you say 28 years? I thought it was 50 years of local. Is it 20 years? Too many numbers. I'm hearing 50 years. I'm hearing 50 years, and then you're saying 28. Well, all right, let's take some reactions. This is from billionaire, businessman Femi Otedola, who wrote, "Kudos to President Tinubu for making this a reality. Fuel queues are now a thing of the past as Dangote Refinery starts loading PMS today, Sunday, September 15, 2024. Well, in response to Femi's tweet, this person wrote, his name is LD, he wrote, "Queues are not what is killing and destroying the economy. It's the price. If Dangote Refinery cannot drastically bring down the fuel price, then it's of no use to Nigerians. Some of us are not stupid. The whole spurious tussle between Dangote and the NNPC PLC was to distract Nigerians into believing one or the other is better. But the end goal is the same, i.e., mark the price up. Nigeria, we hail," I guess he says we hail the Ireo. This is also the conversation, but I know that, NNPC only yesterday or this morning brought out or confirmed or revealed the price that they bought the Dangote petrol. If we can pull some of those floats up, there had been those reports there of how much, NNPC purchased petrol from Dangote Refinery. They're saying that it was at 766 per litre. However, NNPC has said for its initial loading, they also said it was about 898. We heard that as well. But now they have confirmed that the petrol price from the Dangote Refinery across Nigeria will be sold at 950 naira per litre in Lagos. We can pull up the second picture where NNPC actually broke down how much it is that Nigerians will be buying petrol. But you did see, you guys had a robust conversation earlier, which I enjoyed. I like your reaction, especially to Kevin Emmanuel's statement. Given the fact that we've been talking about Nigeria purchasing about 52 million litres of petrol, Kevin Emmanuel had said that, the NNPC had come out there with about 100 trucks instead of 300 100 trucks. I mean, I believe at the end of the day, this will show the real calculation of how much Nigerians really consume. Your reaction to some of those comments?
So some of those numbers, and that was, like you mentioned, great interview. Kelvin broke down a few numbers, one of which is the percentage increase in the number of, or in the liters, or the consumption of fuel by Nigerians. And if you look at it in actual fact, it doesn't really make sense, because as prices have increased, it seems like Nigerians' appetite or consumption of petrol has increased, which there's a discrepancy there. And so, as we have said even before now, is that Dangote Refinery coming on stream would perhaps give us a true picture of how much fuel is consumed by Nigerians daily and how much is smuggled, you know, the numbers that are added that cater to those that are smuggled to neighboring countries, the cartel around fuel subsidy, people who are profiteering from this cabal and from this corruption. So that was quite interesting to see. Now, what we said earlier, like we said earlier, is that what should have been a day of success and triumph for Nigerians and the Dangote Refinery, to be honest, was marred by these conversations around price. And I'll go back to that tweet, the second tweet that you took, whereby he said that it's not just about availability of fuel for Nigerians. It's also about the price and people being able to afford the price of fuel. What NNPCL and Dangote Refinery haven't been quite clear with us is how much money, what is the reality of things on ground. NNPCL have put out their price, 898 naira per litre. Dangote Refinery came out with a counter statement saying, no, that's not the amount of money they sold to them. But they didn't tell us how much it was to balance it out to say that we actually sold at this amount of money. And that's what Nigerians are asking for. So that when we hear how much Dangote actually sold to NNPCL, we can then see the difference and understand why there's a difference there and who indeed marked up the price. If there was a marking up of a price or anything there. So whilst it's a success, we still need a number of clarity around some areas. And NNPCL deserves, you know, Nigerians deserve the truth. They need to come out and tell Nigerians the truth as to how much it truly costs and how much Nigerians will pay. And can Nigerians pay at with the current state of the economy and the minimum wage? Those are some of the questions that need to be answered. But, you know, great news there. At least one part has been answered. Let's go to part two of the question. Availability sorted. Let's now look at price.
Oh, my heart skipped, though. At 950 naira per litre. That means it's still just going to go up. I mean, when is this deregulation really going to happen?
How much did you pay for fuel last week?
93,000 naira. That's how much I used to fill my tank, Rufa. You didn't know that. I came in. It was NNPC, though. It wasn't even at the, you know, the other filling station, NNPC. So, but that means
it's more than minimum wage.
More than minimum is unfair now. But now I'll just be trekking at this point because I can't drive around the town like that with that amount of money spent on fuel. But you know, I believe the main question really is about, you know, like you said, the price and the landing cost. I mean, how much really is petrol? If it's at 950 naira, that means Dangote definitely is selling lower than the landing cost for petrol. But let me just take this reaction from the Social Economic Rights and Accountability Project. They've sued President Bola Tinubu, alleging his government's failure to reverse the increase in the pump price of petrol. Serap said that the lawsuit was filed due to the president's failure to probe the allegation of corruption and mismanagement in the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited. Joining the suit as respondents are the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Lateef Fagbemi, and the NNPC. Serap wants the court to compel President Tinubu to direct the NNPC to reverse the unjust, illegal, unconstitutional, and unreasonable increase in the price of petrol from 845 naira per litre to 600 naira per litre. I think their news is late. It's 950 naira per litre at this point. Go ahead. They're always doing the Lord's work now.
You see, I think it was Fela that was saying, you know, overtake.
Yeah.
You see, the truth is, a couple of things. There are some people in this country that for them is to fleece the average Nigerian people. And I've got a message for them today. You will make money. You will live. You will die. You will leave it behind. You will leave that money for children that you didn't teach the essence of hard work. They will squander that money. They will become pariah to society and will continue the cycle of problems. This cycle, as regards this petrol matter, will never end. It's been here since the 70s. and it will continue. The problem started when Yom Kippur happened and corruption set in. As long as we have people that are not ready to do the right thing, it will continue one way or the other. As long as government is corrupt, most of this problem will continue. At first, subsidy was being paid to the marketers. The same government started conniving with the marketers. Some of them will not bring in products. They'll claim they brought in products. We called Ike Mokwede to clean in that system. We made it NNPC. As long as government is involved, there's going to be corruption. And the blowback will always be on the people. Officially today, to fill a tank of your car, okay, you say people might not really need to spend that amount depending on the car they drive. It's already going beyond the minimum wage. The minimum wage is useless when you check the benchmark. So for those that benefit from this corrupt scheme, when are you going to have pity on the man that his life keeps becoming deplorable because of what government does? Till today, Oji, we do not know the exact price Dangote sold to government. Because that price government came to quote, and I'm sure Kevin was talking this morning about 55 cents. 55 cents was what NNPC released in their paper based on the Platt modeling that came out to about 800 and something. But Dangote has come to refute by saying we didn't sell at that price to NNPC, so we don't know what went on. Only God knows the confusion going on. But you see, I know one thing about Nigeria so well, that as long as confusion is already happening, people are benefiting, interests are benefiting, while the common man will continue to suffer. All I would just beg them for is have pity on the common man. But the real solutions long-term will be multiple energy sources. It's obvious the way petrol is going, the common man cannot sustain, because the economy is already bad. With the devaluation of the Naira, the economy is not there. President Tinubu, the structural part of the economy is largely destroyed. Income largely destroyed. So all economic parameters are not there. But can we at least start to cushion the effect by having buses and alternative forms of energy? Yes, if touted CNG, how can we increase on that CNG? What about buses that people can take at a lower price? Because you hardly hear people in some developed economies where they have trains walking to pick people talk about petrol price a lot, because people don't even drive their cars to work. If you go to my train station in Belvedere in the UK, you will see cars parked at the train station. They just drive to the train station and they take a train to work. Mm-hmm. So can we have that working to at least cater for the common man while the big people keep doing their shenanigans in this country? Because you see, what will happen over the years is that prices will keep rising. Government will keep paying subsidies, and they will claim they are not paying subsidies. All right. The corruption and the shenanigans will keep going on. And this will keep being at the expense of the poor Nigerian people, except they get a liberation.
Well, I hope that this whole Dangote's fuel will liberate Nigerians in some way. I believe that it will, because, I mean, it is within Nigeria. It's a great development for Nigeria, a win for Dangote, President Bola Tinubu, and Nigerians at large. Well, let's bring some joyful news there, Ayo. There was joy in tertiary institution in Abia State this weekend as workers started receiving bank alerts of the payment of their accumulated salary arrears amounting to 17.6 billion naira. Some of the staff of Abia Polytechnic in Aba were seen in the now viral video jubilating and showering praise on Governor Alex Otti. Let's take a look.
Okay, right now, this is Abia State Polytechnic. The staffs are very happy. The staffs are elated because of what the governor have done. I think it's how many years arrears now? Yeah? That's that the arrears have been paid and they are happy.
All right. Congratulations to these workers. I mean, this is good news. Yeah. Good governance at this moment. Nigeria, things are really hard and would love to see more state governors do this in their state. Well, now let's just turn to this video of a young widow, Sandra Chisum, who lost her husband to kidnappers, appealing to President Bola Tinubu to have mercy on poor Nigerians, especially widows like herself, as the hardship in the country has become unbearable. Chisum is a mother of two. Let's take a look.
The hardship is telling on us. I have 2 children and I'm working hard. Everything is on the hike. Many young widows are suffering today. Please pity us. Have mercy on us. Dear First Lady, Tinubu, please, you are a mother and you are a wife. And I know and I believe you know what we are going through, especially young widows like me. I became a widow because of insecurity in Nigeria. My children are fatherless because of insecurity. And I still keep working hard. I still keep pushing. But at this point, I'm fed up. I'm tired. I'm fed up. And I can't take it any longer. Dear President, please, Bola Tinubu, I want you to have mercy on us, especially young widows.
The victorious Chisum there, Dr. Bati-Rufai, I wanted to put a human face to the sort of hardship Nigerians are facing at this time. Imagine a widow who lost her husband to insecurity. What do we say? Nigeria continues to fail its citizens sometimes.
No, Nigeria continues to happen to people. And when Nigeria happens to you, you measure it in terms of pain, anguish, sorrow, tragedy.
Absolutely.
The responsibility of government is to ensure the security and welfare of the people. And this woman is the latest victim. You know, her husband has been kidnapped. Her children have been rendered fatherless. And she's calling on President Tinubu. So she speaks for all of us.
All of us, absolutely.
You know, she speaks for all the suffering people of Nigeria who expect government at both the national level and the subnational level to stand up for them. Absolutely. We were celebrating Governor Otti paying salaries. That's not an achievement. I think it's again another side of the Nigerian story, that when government pays salaries or pays salary arrears, it becomes a cause for jubilation because government at all levels continues to disappoint the people. Even the new national minimum wage that has been agreed upon has not been paid.
Absolutely.
So we shouldn't jubilate because a government provides a transformer or provides water or electricity. That's the responsibility of government.
Absolutely.
That's
but
the
it's
good
nice,
governance
it's
that
really
people
nice
talk about.
to see the smile on their faces, really. I loved to see that smile. We'll take another story, this time in Jordan, where a Nigerian medical doctor and polio technical officer working with the World Health Organization in Jordan, Dr. Emeka Agbo, is reported to have been murdered in Amman. He was just 45 years old. Emeka, according to reports, had complained to his wife of threats he was receiving from 2 of his colleagues before he was found dead. Emeka had been a valued member of the WHO workforce for the last 10 years, supporting immunization, polio eradication, and Ebola outbreak response in the African and Eastern Mediterranean regions. He recently joined the polio eradication team in Amman, and in a short time made important contributions as the regional incident support manager for response to polio outbreaks in Sudan and Djibouti. The chairman of the Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, Abike Dabiri-Erawa, in a post on X, has called for an immediate investigation into the incident. Let's take Abike's tweet. She wrote, "This is indeed a very sad incident. NIDCOM has been in touch with the family. The attention of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been brought to the matter, and it to be looked into thoroughly." I mean, the family at this moment, we have heard from the family, may his soul rest in peace, but the Jordan authorities are saying or signaling that he might have committed suicide, but the family insists that he was, we all disagree, and we call right now for an immediate investigation into this matter, really. May his soul rest in peace. We know that Adefemi Akinsoya is working on a report. We hope we get some solution to his death. We'll take our final story in the United States, where former President Donald Trump on Sunday, in a post on X, vowed to deport illegal immigrants to their home countries if he wins the U.S. presidential elections in November. Trump wrote in his post that as president, I will immediately end the migrant invasion of America. We will stop all migrant flights and end all illegal entries, terminate the Kamala phone app for smuggling illegals, revoke deportation, immunity, suspend refugee resettlement, and return Kamala's illegal immigrants to their home countries. His post is coming after his first debate with Kamala Harris, when he claimed that Haitians living in Springfield are eating cats and dogs. Trump's claim has gone viral and even made it into this song by Kefnes titled Eating the Cats, featuring Donald Trump debate remix. Let's take a look.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats, they're eating the pets of the people that live there. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats.
Okay, this song has severely gone viral. I just wanted to cheer our video viewers up. We have to go refine. We have to go.
Please,
go ahead.
Trump should remember that if his grandfathers were treated
Enough
as
of
illegal
Trump.
immigrants from
All
Germany,
right, well, all right. We'll end the show. I'd love to thank you all. They are not eating dogs and cats in Springfield, I don't think so, but we would like to thank you all for your great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's Trending today. I'll see you all tomorrow.